Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics' Sonic the Hedgehog, reminding you not to get bogged down in labels and ideologies. They are helpful sometimes, but they can also be too broad and gloss over the most important thing: moral framework. It can mean the difference between someone who wants a revolution for advancing human rights versus someone who wants an excuse to feel righteous or worse, commit atrocities. For instance, Marx believed in a dictatorship of the
Proletariat.
That's what I said. It's both very similar to and very different from everyone deserves food and shelter. Working with and alongside politically charged groups can be helpful for serving your local community, but be very cautious of providing your name, email, and other personal information. Remember, hyphenated labels and sweeping ideologies are one thing, but moral framework, the core beliefs of a person, can be the most revealing. I'm Nick, and except for this intro, I wrote the script.
And I'm Dominic, and except for this intro, I haven't read any of today's script.
What are we reading today, Dominic?
We are reading Archie's Sonic the Hedgehog, number 26. Release date, June of 1995. Publication date, September of 1995. Is it bad that every time I think of 9, I'm thinking 9/11?
Never forget.
Yeah.
They like drilled it in your head.
They actually did.
So
it's like 9/11. Oh,
Yep.
Oh, September. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
That's how I do it, unfortunately.
Hey, man.
Way Past Cool. Part 1. Written by Angelo DeCesare and penciled by Dave Manock. It's a hot summer day in Mobius. In an effort to beat the heat, the freedom fighters go by the river to cool off. Sonic attempts to make a cooling jet spray to cool everyone down by running so fast, he'll run on the surface of the river, sending a cooling mist everywhere. As he runs, he comes across a family of ducks crossing the river. He stops and falls into the waist-high river. Everyone starts running up to join Sonic, who is now technically swimming in the water, when a cold front comes rushing in and storm clouds start blocking out the sun. Sally brings out Nicole, her personal computer that she built in the future and sent back in time to support herself on many adventures. We cut to a building in a diamond-shaped building in the mountains.
I wrote this like 2 hours ago.
We cut to a diamond-shaped building in the mountains, with an orb shooting Arctic blasts in all directions. Inside, we can see Robotnik and Snively at the controls of some machine. It's working, Dr. Robotnik. The temperature has fallen below 0 with the wind chill factor, of course. Oh, perfectly excellent, Snively. That 2-week course in meteorology I took at night school is finally paying off. My weather annihilator, it will make everything on this part of Mobius so very cold. We will then use the infrared detector to find any being with even the slightest hint of body heat. We cut back to the freedom fighters now traversing in a blizzard. They are caught in a whiteout and cannot find their way back home to Knothole. Sally busts out Nicole again. Nicole, please tell us where the nearest cave is. The nearest cave is 1.0019 kilometers southwest. The slow response indicates that Nicole's circuits are slowing down and beginning to freeze. Perhaps Sally should have asked where Knothole Village was instead of where the nearest cave was. We cut back to Robotnik, driving in his snowmobile, piercing the snow as they drive to a cave where he is detecting warm-blooded beings. Inside the Dave. Inside.
The cave's name is Dave.
Inside Dave's cave. Dude, if I had like a tourist trap off the highway,
oh hell yeah,
it'd be Dave's cave.
If my name was Dave, I would definitely make a man cave and call it Dave's cave. Yeah,
that's got to be a thing already.
Oh yeah.
Inside the cave, we see the freedom fighters huddled up in a corner, freezing, afraid they are going to freeze to death when a shadowy figure appears, and demands that they follow him. End of part 1.
What are we thinking? Oh, you know what? I'm going to just open with, why'd they make this so complicated in the beginning? Having Sonic run on the water to make a cooling mist to, like, cool everyone down? Mm-hmm. Like, why didn't they all just hop in the water?
I guess it's like the difference between, like, when you're at Six Flags, say, right? There's a difference between being in the wave pool versus that misty kiosk that's really fun to, like, dance around in. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it just, it feels obnoxious.
I mean, the giveaway is that everyone is like in their swim gear, right? So it's like so it implies that people are going to be in the river, like swimming around.
Yeah, they look like they were about to go swimming. It makes no sense to me.
It's just a cute little fun.
It makes no sense, Dominic. Why weren't they just going to go swim to begin with?
You know what? Dave Minot just wanted to draw a MILF duck.
That duck is too hot. I didn't even notice.
I didn't either until I looked.
Why is that duck so hot?
That's how you know it's a woman.
If it was an ugly duck, I wouldn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we feeling about Robotnik's plan here?
So the implication is that he needs everything else to be incredibly cold in order to pick people up on infrared. But if you've seen infrared footage on, like, I don't know, police chases or military drones or search and rescue, it could still be really hot out and you can still see people in infrared because it's contextual, right? So it's...
Also depends on the type of, like, if it's red night vision goggles, you're gonna see, or heat vision goggles, you'll see all the like demons and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
This isn't Splinter Cell. This is...
So there's my TikTok is fucked, to say the least, and I'm on some very, very crazy conspiracy TikToks. Let me rephrase that, because I don't have a TikTok. The Gotta Talk Fast For You page is fucked.
Oh my God. I have not gone on TikTok since it was banned.
I mean, no, it's not like anyone else can see the For You page.
Right.
But it's a lot of conspiracy theory stuff. And,
so it's like, we see ghosts through infrared?
Well, no, it's there was like a thing where this guy was trying to claim that when you were wearing, like, red night vision goggles, they had to change it to green because the original ones used to be red back in, like, I guess Nam or so.
Sure.
That when you wear it long enough, it's like other dimensions start bleeding through and demons start popping up, and it was freaking everyone out. So they're like, we gotta switch to green.
So it has nothing to do with the fact that maybe your eyes are seeing floaters, or maybe prolonged exposure of the night vision of this new technology called night vision goggles might be, messing with your eyes a little bit. No, it's you're seeing dimensions, other dimensions, and demons. And
I assume that's why the Virtual Boy never took off, because it's all red inside. You're probably a bunch of demons.
If Oswald didn't kill Kennedy, it was going to be Miyamoto.
This was a bit. You don't see the demons, man?
No, I don't.
Insane plan. I respect it. The problem here is, granted, Robotnik is, like, destroying all life, but there's still lots and lots of, I guess, unintelligent life forms that don't speak around that would be picked up. So it just seems like a crazy plan. But also, it seems like he doesn't care about those life forms.
Yeah.
So, like, why hasn't he been blasting this the whole time?
It is a crazy ass plan, but by the logic of it, it can work.
Yeah, no. You know what I'll say is, on a scale of, like, Robotnik's, like, is this plan insane scale, it's like a 5. Like, this one actually has logic.
Out of 10. 1 to 10. Yeah. So it's right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. Like, it makes sense. It's a little out there, But you know what? There's logic. And so, what I'll say is there's been a lot of times I'm like, I just don't follow what your goal here is, or like how you got to these like points. So I'm okay with this plan. It feels very cartoonish, but you know what? With the
Art Mahoney, Angelo DeCesare story, it's more wacky.
But at the same time, it's been kind of serious in a weird way lately. So you know what? Maybe this is a nice little
palate cleanser.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I'm with it.
That was my approach too, where it's like I could dismiss this as stupid, but you know, it is Angelo DeCesare story.
Yeah, we've come to expect this type of story
from him, and I'm rating it based off of him. I'm not looking down on him. I'm just saying like, okay, this is your standard. This seems to be your style. So let's see what you got. And you know, so Crazy Weather Machine, that is certainly a that's a classic evil villain plan.
Yeah,
I know the throwaway line is I spent 2 weeks in meteorology night class, but he could just be referring to the before times when he was a young scientist
back in junior college,
something like that. Yeah, because they do reference that, I think. Yeah, because when he was doing like the Frankenstein stuff. Yeah, with the giant golden ape.
You know, this is a complete side note.
Okay,
and it just clicked in my head. In alternate Sonic universe with like Cool Sonic. All the humans are dead there too. Robotnik wouldn't have killed all of them.
Think there was a genocide?
No, that Robotnik's good.
Yeah, and but you think the bad freedom fighters?
Oh, that even crossed my mind.
Yeah,
I accept it.
If they clearly hate Romani people, so why not just all people?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Way past cool. Part 2. We open on Snively and Robotnik in the cave with 2 SWAT bots. Sonic the Hedgehog and the Freedom Fighters are not here, sir. But the infrared detector clearly showed... Quiet, you beak-nosed blunderer. Take the SWAT bots and search the cave until you find them. No living creature could survive in this cold for long, not even in a cave. I will note that actually... wind chill is like the deadliest part of that'll drastically being wet, and then wind chill is the deadliest thing, regardless of, I mean, obviously the standing temperature is very important, but yeah, what the Freedom Fighters did here, very, very smart in terms of tactical or like survival.
Yeah. So. Well, it would have been smarter just have Nicole be like, this is the direction, not whole village.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think the cave was a better, because they're like really low. They're like, they don't have much time left.
This is what I'll say is maybe they should have got directions first.
Find a cave on the way to Knothole.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But at that moment, deep below the cave floor, we see the Freedom Fighters hanging out with a penguin, seal, polar bear, wolf, and a fox. The wolf begins explaining who they are. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot there's like 5 new characters for no reason.
Don't worry, I didn't make you do a lot of voices.
Thank you.
Okay, but you do need to figure out this wolf, because he does talk a lot.
He does.
Okay. He's got a cool vest. Do you think he's kind of sly?
I'm not getting that vibe, though.
What do you think?
I'm basing it on his lack of chin, honestly. No. He looks different. He looks different on 2 completely different angles. The first frame on that page, he looks totally fine and like slick and handsome and whatever. Mm-hmm. But the second panel there does not do him justice at all. You're with me, right? Like they look completely different facially.
I mean, I think it's the eyes. Like that looks kind and sincere, and he just looks like a fucking dork in this one.
So which way do we go?
He just has like middle management written all over him.
Here's the thing, is that we'll get to this critique, but too many characters at once. Okay, so I got to pick one, though, so thank you for paring it down.
Yeah, middle management.
Middle management. I love that adjective. I love that. But I don't know how to work with it. Okay. Middle management.
Think synergy. I can't think of other buzzwords that middle management would use.
I think I got it. We are a small, peaceful group of Arctic Mobians. I'm Guntiver, and these are my friends. Augustus, Celia, Irma, and the penguin is our friend Flip.
I'm not going to lie. I had literally no expectations, and I was just like kind of fucking with you, and you crushed it.
Oh, thank you.
That was so fucking good.
So with voice acting, and I'm not a voice actor, but
yeah,
thank you. The vibe is sometimes you can't do like a crazy ass voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the energy you bring.
Yeah.
That completely transforms a character. Like an impersonation, right? An impersonation doesn't have to be like, there are great impersonations where celebrity impersonations where it's like so amazing and like you're like looking at the real person.
Mm-hmm.
Others, it's like, this is a good impersonation because they get the vibe down.
Yeah,
correctly.
1,000%.
For some reason, my mind jumps to Saturday Night Live, Taran Killam doing Michael Cera. I don't know why, but that specific impersonation that he did, it's not a good Michael Cera, but he gets the vibe where it's actually...
It passes because of the vibe.
And the context of the sketch, which I forget what it was, but it actually really worked.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Anyway. If you're from the Arctic, how did you end up here? We traveled south years ago to visit friends and family. Suddenly, Robotnik began his reign of terror. And so, to avoid capture, we sought refuge here.
You definitely sound like you're pitching on Shark Tank.
That's what I went with.
Okay.
Sally points out that these Arctic animals need cold weather to survive, and that is when we learn that they have found some old machinery that Robotnik has left behind. With the machinery, they were able to create an artificial Arctic zone underground. Sonic starts trying to go back outside into the Arctic weather when both the Freedom Fighters and the Arctic animals point out how futile that attempt would be, and Sonic would turn into a Sonic Sickle before he'd even be able to fight Robotnik. Guntiver speaks up. We are not skilled fighters, but we can help you adapt to the cold climate on the surface. You could train in an Arctic zone.
I support it. It's not the vibe he's giving.
It's you know what? Shit, I should have looked at the panel. Sorry, I just did the opposite. I just think it'd be funny to do the opposite.
Do you want to look at the other picture where he's first introduced to? One second, let me find it. Right there. He looks like he's an accountant.
He looks empty-headed a little bit.
Yeah,
like he's really good with numbers, not good with people at all.
This is the only time he talks, so we don't have to think too hard about this.
Okay, that's it. That's all we'll talk about. So it's yeah, you could train in an Arctic zone.
Yeah.
Okay. The Freedom Fighters think that's a great idea and begin training immediately. 1 week later, we see Snively and Robotnik standing outside the weather control device with several SWAT bots standing guard. Can't we please shut down the weather annihilator, Dr. Robotnik? The cold is becoming quite intolerable. No, not until I first find the Freedom Fighters' frozen figures Fively, or Snively. But sir, it's been over a week since they vanished. Surely they would have attacked the tower by now if they could. Perhaps you're right. This weather has affected my sound judgment, not to mention my sweet disposition. Come, Snively, I'll leave the SWAT bots to stand guard while we celebrate the... Just then, the SWAT bot standing guard gets hit with a giant snowball, exploding the SWAT bot. We cut to the Freedom Fighters. They have built a giant catapult on skis. Broder is managing the catapult. Sally is giving commands in the back line. Tails is making the snowballs. Antoine is the scout with a looking glass. And Sonic is on the front line, ready to run in. You, Mr. Robotnik.
What just happened? You racist. Just because he's wearing a Russian snow cap.
Oh, he is. I didn't even notice that.
Wow.
You, Mr. Robotnik. We do need a Russian character.
We super do.
I will fuck with that Slavic accent. That super stereotypical Slavic accent.
It's a matter of time before it happens.
Yes, 100%. Omelette du famous. You missed Robotnik, princess, but you did not get the bullseye. I mean, the bullseye. Forget Robotnik. Let's aim higher and try to knock out that weather machine. It's our only hope. Take your best shot, Sal, because ready or not, I'm going in. End of part 2. All right, so more action.
Yeah, not much. How do you feel about these Arctic guys who just decided to live in a cave and never leave because they're afraid of Robotnik?
We don't get anything with them.
No.
Like, that's the problem. We'll get to this. We'll talk more. We'll just go.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about this at the very end. But they're just useless. They're not useless in the story, but, like, there was... Okay, I'll keep going. I'll say this point. Way past school, part 3. Robotnik and Snively are darting into the building that houses the weather machine. Sonic the Hedgehog and his hateful horde are attacking us after you said they wouldn't, imbecile. I'm going to turn up the weather annihilator to maximum and freeze them on the spot. Oh dear, he's angry. I must redeem myself in the eyes of Dr. Robotnik. We cut back outside with the freedom fighters. The weather is getting worse. I can't see the machine, let alone hit it. Then it's time to attack it ourselves. Let's go! Just then, Snively pops out from a snow mound with a freeze ray. Sorry, you'll have to put your plans on ice, freedom fighters. The freedom fighters are encased in ice, waist down. How about this, Hedgehog? Your days as a non-robot will soon be over. Snively grabs the snowmobile and starts pushing the block of ice that the freedom fighters are encased in. Master Robotnik will be so pleased. He may even allow me the honor of roboticizing you all personally. Suddenly, the snowmobile stops. Snively looks out the side of the car to see that the black wheels are being lifted off the ground. He turns fully around to see a polar bear. Let my friends go.
Yeah.
One line. That's literally it, right?
Yeah.
Snively turns around and grabs the freeze ray and points it at the polar bear. I'll polarize you! Just then, Guntiver... Am I saying that right? Yeah. Just then, Guntiver, the wolf, pops out and starts attacking Snively. Snively runs off with SWAT bots running towards Guntiver as reinforcements. Irma and the seal take Sonic, who's still encased in a block of ice, and load him in a catapult. They aim the catapult at the weather machine and launch the iced Sonic right at it. Let's see. Today's forecast: snow, ice, and chilling winds, with a chance of frozen hedgehog. Ee-ah-ho-ho-ho-ho! Robotnik hears a voice in the wind. I see you, Robotnik! Robotnik turns and sees Sonic encased in ice flying right at him. Oh no! Direct hit. Sonic lands on Robotnik, breaking the ice that entrapped him. Sorry I have to bust your little snowmaker, but in case you haven't heard, the Cold War is over. Sonic spin dashes into the weather machine, destroying it instantly. Later, as the sun shines once again over the Great Forest, the Arctic pals that the Freedom Fighters now have are gathered in Robotnik's old snowmobile. This vehicle will enable us to return to the Arctic, but this time, if we encounter danger, we'll have the courage to face it. Thanks to the example set by you and the Freedom Fighters, Sonic. Sonic waves goodbye. Be cool, guys! The Arctic friends drive off into the sunset. The end.
So, you seemed like you had a rant all queued up, ready to go.
So, when someone... When like, an author introduces a character, and it's not done in a way that's like, oh, I passed by... this shadowy figure or this person at the market, and it's like, I noticed them for 2 seconds, right? It's like a concerted, I am the character, and these are my friends, and this is the exposition, right? You're laying something down that needs to be paid off.
Yeah.
So, and there's hardly really any there's two characters that pay off. Guntiver, who really is just there as a leadership, right? Just a liaison between the two groups. And then the polar bear. The polar bear does do something, right?
Well, I mean, honestly...
He does the most. He does the only one that does anything, really.
I think this story would have been a lot more impactful if there was just one person.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
Living alone, afraid to go outside. And
wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, even their motive makes more sense if you pare it down to one person.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm by myself. I'm afraid. That makes sense.
Yeah. Having a group, it just feels like they're just creating characters to create characters.
Exactly. And maybe it will pay off in the future.
With a paycheck when he owns those character rights. You are correct.
Actually, no, this was Angelo DeCesare.
From my understanding, other people, not just Ken Penders, got the rights to their characters that they created.
Okay, cool.
I might be wrong. I'm not
sure
an expert on that case.
Me neither. But in terms of, in terms of having a payoff, you really just need to pare it down to one absolutely, or one is what we agree on. That's the most effective. You could say two, sure, Guntiver and Polar Bear.
But I feel like it's more, it's more impactful to have the single, but yes,
totally agree. But they name drop every single character.
Yeah.
In there. And it's like, oh.
They didn't do a good job of explaining who's who.
Yeah, so we're gonna have like an Avengers-esque, climax where every character gets their punch in with their special power. But no, absolutely none of that. It's just three to four background characters that do absolutely jack shit.
There, let me pull up the image where they're introduced.
Or at least it's redundant. They are redundant. They technically do stuff in the frames, in the panels, but it is completely redundant.
Yeah.
So you're right. It is three extra characters. Technically, the Penguin, Flip the Penguin says something.
Yeah.
But he functionally completely useless.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out. They name drop everyone, but outside of Guntiver and Flip,
Celia is the seal.
And Celia is obvious, but I couldn't figure out which one is Irma.
Yeah.
And which one is Augustus. I mean, if I had to guess,
I'm
assuming Irma is the fox and Augustus is the
based on the feminine masculine names.
Yeah, but like I didn't know, so right. I was just like, I'm just gonna call him Polar Bear.
Yeah,
and I did in the script, but that was something you guys would have never found out if I didn't say anything, because you can't read the script.
You could read the issue, but no, it's dumb. The story as an Angelo DeCesare story, and I'm not saying that to belittle DeCesare. I'm saying that seems to be his.
Sounds like you're kind of trying to belittle him.
No, I'm
giving you a hard time.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. We have an Angelo DeCesare story where it's silly. It's a little sillier. It's a little more fun. Wild and wacky 90s. I get it. Cool. It's a kid's comic, and it's a decent story for this kind of story. But yeah, why did you add all these useless characters?
Yeah, the whole thing is...
It takes it irks me in the back of my mind. It's like, these guys didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's...
no. See, Guntiver does chase Snively.
Yeah, I guess.
With a mighty roar.
But that would have been better if it was like a Seal or something. Mm-hmm. Because then Seal would have actually done something.
Coming out of the water or something.
Yeah.
The icy water, yeah.
These other people just weren't there. I mean, there's not much to say about this one. I mean, there's not much to say about this whole issue, truthfully. This is going to be probably a short episode. But, I mean, it's, I guess, a fun one. It was
fun. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. There's an angle here that I want to bring up, which is, do you think Robotnik would have accepted Snively bringing the Freedom Fighters encased in ice? Did he manage to do that?
Versus him doing it himself?
Exactly.
I don't know if we've had an indication of that.
Because I think Robotnik wouldn't accept that. I think he needs to be the one to at least capture Sonic. And he would be angry and would truthfully let them go.
I don't know. I actually don't know. It could go either way.
Yeah. Or he would just kill Snively because he managed to do what he couldn't. Yeah. There's an ego thing here where
he's evil. He is evil. He will commit genocide. He has committed genocide. Honestly, this whole weather event took place over a week, which is ecologically disastrous.
I mean, he might have genocided or within that week, technically.
100%.
Yeah.
So that would make the most sense to me, where he's like, "Oh, thank you, Snively." Kill Snively, and it's like, I did it.
Yeah.
Who's going to disagree with him?
Yeah. Also, who's that? Who is he proving it to?
Yeah.
Robots?
No, it's to himself. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You think he gaslights himself into believing he killed Sonic?
Evil people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can do that. Everyone is fully capable of doing that. But
the logic would definitely be like, I trained Snively So everything Snively did, I'm the one who did.
That's a very CEO mentality, my friend.
Yeah, sure is.
None of this would have happened if I didn't invest all the money.
Yeah, for sure. Do we have any other comments about this one?
Just the 1 week ecological. The fact that they did a time skip, I do wonder if that was necessary. I think they could have been more urgent and just not.
Well, I mean, they had to learn how to be in the snow. I don't know. They definitely made it seem like they've never seen snow before or something.
Which okay, that's an angle. Sure.
Do you
over
think-
this week? No, yeah, I don't know for sure, but if that was the angle, we've never really done snow warfare on this scale before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's take a week and then we'll train you. The fox, I forget whatever name. The fox can teach you how to sneak in the snow. Flip the penguin will teach you how to slide on the ice. Stuff like that. Do something cool.
Do you think maybe this was originally a 4-parter?
Maybe.
And then they cut it?
Maybe they got screwed over.
Yeah.
Maybe they got screwed over. I'll acknowledge it.
Because that if they did that, a lot of this would have made a lot more sense.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that angle.
Yeah. But also, that didn't happen.
No.
So
at the end of the day, you have to judge what's in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't just make up scenarios to make.
Yeah.
How can I word this? Make it more favorable towards the writers. I have to just work with what's in front of me, and what's in front of me is fucking bullshit.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not bad.
I have an impassioned point to make.
The thing that bothers me, isn't maybe even the wrong word.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a push and pull happening here about the types of stories that are being told and the types of stories that want to be told.
Yes.
And it is definitely giving me whiplash.
Mm-hmm. Same. It doesn't. I guess it doesn't help that we're reading them back to back every week. But still, it should.
You think the month in between issues would help?
Mentally, it can.
Honestly, if the last thing I read was the Sonic thing, the Sonic and Knuckles special,
yeah,
and then I went to this, I'd be kind of fucking annoyed. I waited a month for this.
Yeah. It's a filler. It feels.
Yeah.
It becomes filler in the context of something more serious.
Well, and that's the thing is they clearly want to tell more serious stories.
Yeah. But maybe that's what the staff is trying to work towards.
Yeah.
And then maybe, and I'm sure many of our viewers will know this already, but maybe it becomes serious, after issue 160, according to Bobby Schroeder, where she's saying that's when Ian Flynn starts. Or, Ken Penders too. I don't know. Okie dokie. We have more.
We do have more. We have one more story. Are you happy with the verbiage I used there, Dominic? One more story.
Fortified, written by Angelo DeCesare and penciled by Art McWhinney. We open on the Freedom Fighters hiking in the woods. Sonic is being carried by Sally and Antoine. It seems Sonic has sprained his ankle while on today's excursion. Tails is exhausted and can't fly, and Rotor is looking at a device that claims Robotnik is on his way to their exact location. We cut over to Buns, who is staring at some trees. Over here, Tails. These trees here seem to be blocking our path. I'll try to clear a few out of the way and... Wait, these aren't trees. They're... Oh my stars! Meanwhile, a little further down the mountain, we see Snively and Robotnik driving the Bot Bus, a boss with tank treads, metal teeth in front, and packed to the brim with SWAT Boss. Drive faster, Snively, drive faster! Sensors show that the Hedgehog is moving slowly. He must be injured. Snively and Robotnik look at the radar system that is telling them the exact location of the Freedom Fighters. The Freedom Fighters can run from me, but this time they can't hide. We cut back to the Freedom Fighters in what appears to be an abandoned fort. What is this place, Sal? It must be an old log fortress built by one of my ancestors, Sonic. Way past cool. I wonder if these walls are strong enough to hold off Robotnik. I don't know. I don't think so, Tails. Robotnik's bots would turn this old wooden fort into splinters. The Freedom Fighters look around and spot an old cannon. Antoine excitedly says that he has found the weapon that will save them. Unfortunately, Rotor is a Debbie Downer and says that the cannon is useful only for scrap metal. As the freedom fighters continue exploring the fort, they discover an old blacksmith's workshop. Sonic comes up with the idea that they can cut some metal, and Rotor can blacksmith some metal.
Yeah, I stick by that.
Sonic comes up with the idea that they can cut some metal, and Rotor can black some smith for some weapons. We cut to Robotnik and Snively, now sitting outside the old wooden fort. They drive through the front gate, destroying it instantly. Freedom fighters, the bus bot is here to take you on a guided tour of the inside of a roboticizer. First, you'll have to get past me, Robotnik. Robotnik and Snively turn and stare at Buns, confused at what they are looking at. Y'all should know about me, Robotnik. You made me part of what I am. Now you can call me Robot Bunny. Bunny is standing in a metal astronaut-esque suit, standing in front of Robotnik and Snively. It's a freedom fighter, sir. She appears to be wearing a suit of very heavy metal. Robotnik commands the SWAT bots to run out in full force. They are all dashing right at Buns. Buns decides to do the same. She is running at full speed, head down, like a bull. Sorry, but there'll be no hair removal today. Buns has knocked out all the SWAT bots in one go. She wrecked my bot, Snively! Run her down! Snively starts charging the bus right at Buns, full speed. She's trapped in the corner of the fort, unable to move out of the way. Just at the last second, Buns go-go gadgets her legs, extending them so that they go above the bus. The bus runs under her legs, ramming into the walls of the fort, driving through the walls and off a cliff. The freedom fighters gather in a circle and laugh about how dumb Robotnik is. The end.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
It's literally, and everyone laughed, like the panel.
Yeah. I want to bring up a broader conversation.
Okay.
Where has Buns been? Where has Buns been?
She's completely absent in the previous story.
Well, not only that, I feel like she's just been gone for a while. I didn't realize it until, this issue, that she hasn't, done jack fucking shit.
She hasn't been. It's not that she hasn't done jack shit, which technically you're right, but more so she hasn't been present to do anything.
Yeah, is she even in these past issues?
Wasn't in the Knuckles special. I can guarantee that.
Yeah,
or maybe a panel in the background, but I don't remember.
No, when she went to Kahim.
Oh, she wasn't there with Kahim.
Yeah, exactly. It made me realize that she hasn't been around for a while.
We acknowledged this before, but I thought after okay, they introduced this character. Maybe all the writers need to get on the same page. Hey, we need to include Buns now, and then that's cool. So that she, in and out. But now there wasn't even an anti-bunny.
There's no evil Buns.
That she should have been the linchpin. She should have been, hey y'all, I'm here. I'm gonna be the one to beat up all these nega war whatevers. And then it's that should have been it.
It literally didn't click until this issue where I was just we haven't seen Buns in a while.
Yeah, at all.
She had that solo adventure with Antoine, which she wasn't even the star of. She was just bumbling around protecting Antoine, but where has she been?
Hey, Bunny, we need to dress up as Romani people. No.
That's why they didn't. That's why.
I refuse to be part of this story.
The southern one is the least racist.
Hey, progress. Hell yeah. No, it's really bad. It wasn't even in the Spaziante's comic. The Spaziante.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One.
She hasn't.
Okay, that one makes sense because it's it was really isolated down to Sonic and Tails.
Sure.
But you're right.
We haven't seen her
at all. Sometimes Antoine will be absent for a story, but not nearly as much as Buns.
But at least Antoine is normally just in the background.
Yeah.
He's at least drawn. Night of 1,000 Sonics, Buns isn't here either. Were they at one point in time just being Buns isn't landing as a character, we need to just kick her out?
But
like,
okay, so there is no way she's not a popular character. She has to be.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like she seems way cooler than everyone else.
She's cool. She's powerful. She's got a fun accent, and let's be honest, she's attractive, right?
Yeah, all right. That was man.
She's hot, right? No,
that she's so fucking hot, man.
No, it is. So we have to assuming that she's a popular character. We have to assume that it is because she's too powerful.
I mean that is what I would assume.
That's the best guess we can have.
Which issue did they have? Oh, I'm not gonna do it because it's a special. I wanted to look in the future comic and see if Buns was even in the future stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't remember her.
Maybe.
Also, like that can also be pretty easily explained away. Like, yeah, she's off doing a resistance movement somewhere or something. I don't know.
They need to start explaining it because she's almost main cast, but she's not.
She should be main cast.
She should be. Or maybe there's this. If there's like a Princess Sally special miniseries, there's a Princess Sally miniseries where Sally's leading the Freedom Fighters, Junior Freedom Fighters. Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. Buns is a very powerful character that has leadership potential. Let's do her own thing, but they're not explaining any of that.
Yeah. Like I said, it literally didn't click until today when I read this issue, when I was just like, where has she been?
It's a random other thing, and it's annoying because
I like Buns.
I do too.
Yeah, she's super cool.
They need to define her role. Do you think there was like a power inconsistency here with Bunny? Because it's like, okay, she took down Universe Salamander, or it was a giant burrow bot. She took down a giant burrow bot, but she can't take on a bus.
Yeah.
Which okay, to be fair, it's a powerful bus, souped up bus, but she could have taken that bus.
I mean,
with the armor.
This is the problem. Is like she could take on anything.
Exactly.
She is the most powerful freedom fighter.
100%. In terms of raw strength, she's the bruiser. She needs to be the brawler.
Yeah. Let's talk about the actual story. I corrected myself.
I recognize it. Thank you.
How are we feeling about it?
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not.
It all comes down to just, hey, let's draw Bunny in a cannon costume.
Yeah, that's a funny image.
It is a fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, like,
I think Robo Bunny is kind of stupid.
Oh, for sure. Especially since she's already half robot.
Exactly. So her name is Bunny Rabot.
Yeah. If anything, it would be
Bunny Robot.
Robo Bunny.
Or that panel could have worked where she's going, I am Robo Bunny. If there was another one after it that was like, maybe that I could come up with something better, but whatever, something like that
for sure.
A little joke,
or Bunny Robo Bunny Robunbo.
As I'm saying,
Robunbo. There it is. She's Robunbo.
Robunbo.
Oh, the Rambo equivalent.
Robambo.
Hey, we're on to something. Bleep that out. Trademark this.
Robambo. First Bun, Part 2.
Yeah, I'm into that. I like the simplicity of the solution of just driving.
Yeah, this is my ability. I've done this before so many times. You forgot, you dumbass.
The only thing that annoys me about this is I wish Antoine came up with the plan and not Sonic.
Yeah, like give him something to do. He's
supposed to be like the military guy.
Okay, so we have assumed that this whole time.
No, they flat out define him as that.
Like a military genius. No, or is it
not genius?
Is it him talking about himself? Like judging himself.
Okay, now I don't know anymore.
Yes.
You're making me second guess.
The thing we know for sure so far is that he's captain of the Royal Guard. But that doesn't necessarily mean needing to be a...
It means he's good at following orders.
Yes.
Let me rephrase. I think the plan should have came from either Antoine or Sally.
I agree. It could, but Antoine would have been cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Or Buns came up with it, right?
Sure.
I just hate how... I just feel like Sonic shouldn't be the one coming up with plans.
I agree. He's a doer, not a thinker.
Yeah, exactly.
And when he thinks, it's too fast.
Yeah.
When he thinks too hard, he passes out.
Exactly.
That'd be really funny.
And that's the issue. Only 393 left to go. I'm Nick. I stream at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus. My personal blue sky is at Mojosaurus.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago at Blue Collar Jazz, and my personal blue sky is at Dom Guan.
You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast. TikTok is Gotta Talk Faster. We also have a video version of the podcast where you can follow along with the panels and watch our handsome faces. You can write in at the show at sonograms@gottatalkfast.com, ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion of this week's issue. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and remember, when life keeps going fast,
You gotta talk fast.
and get through it.
I love you, honey.
You.
Gotta talk, gotta talk.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk.